Hello, Virgo. Anna here. The waiting is over. The hesitation is done. They're not thinking about talking anymore. They're moving toward you right now to have the conversation they've been building toward. You have minutes, maybe hours. Prepare yourself because readiness doesn't matter. They're coming anyway. Its time is proclamation, not suggestion, not possibility, declaration. The moment that's been approaching, that you've sensed building, that you've been bracing for or hoping for, depending on what you want from this person, that moment is now arriving. Whether you've mentally prepared or whether you're about to be caught completely off guard, they've decided, they've stopped deliberating. They've moved from internal debate about whether to initiate conversation into action of actually initiating it. Their decision making is complete. Their resolve is firm. Their nervous system has finally settled enough that they can move forward, even though moving forward feels terrifying, because moving forward means vulnerability, means exposure, means putting words to feeling they've been carrying privately and transforming it into shared reality through conversation that can't be taken back once it's spoken. They want to talk is loaded phrase. Could mean confession is coming, could mean confrontation, could mean reconciliation attempt, could mean something they need to say, something they've been holding, something that requires your participation to work through. The content of the talk matters less than the fact of the talk itself, which is that conversation is happening, silence is breaking, whatever's been unspoken is about to become spoken. Ready or not, here they come is acknowledgement that your readiness is irrelevant. They're not waiting for perfect moment when you've mentally prepared. They're not giving you advance warning so you can build emotional walls or rehearse defensive responses. They're coming now because now is when they can do it. Because waiting longer would make doing it impossible. Because their readiness has reached threshold they can't hold past. You might not be ready. You might be caught off guard. You might be unprepared for what they're about to say or for how you'll respond. Readiness doesn't create permission anymore. Time has run out for readying yourself. Time for talking is here. Let me show you what's about to happen and how to navigate it without destroying what you might want to create. They're approaching with intention, not casually stopping by to hang out and conversation happening to arise naturally. They've chosen moment. They've possibly created circumstance. They've arranged privacy if privacy is needed. They're moving toward you with deliberate purpose, which means this isn't spontaneous, this is planned, even if planning was only done in their head, was just them deciding today is the day, I'm going to do this. This planning matters because it means they've been thinking about this for days or weeks or months. Means they've been preparing in their own way, means they've probably rehearsed what they're going to say, have probably imagined multiple scenarios for how you might respond, have probably built up courage through repetition of this same conversation in their mind 1,000 times before attempting it once in reality. Their intention is real, their commitment is genuine. Whatever comes out of their mouth, they mean it, because they wouldn't be approaching if they didn't mean it, wouldn't be initiating if they weren't ready to follow through with whatever this conversation requires. And they're coming toward you specifically, not sending message, not asking mutual friend to relay information, coming to you directly. This directness is significant, is them choosing to be present for your reaction, is them wanting to see your face, to hear your voice, to have conversation be actual dialogue rather than one way delivery of information. They want conversation, not monologue. Conversation means they want your input, your response, your participation. Means they expect you to have thoughts about what they're going to say. Means they're prepared for you to have questions, to have reactions, to have things you need to say in return, because they're approaching this as dialogue, not as performance. This reflection invites you to consider, what conversation do you think they're coming to have, and how do you actually feel about having it? Now let me address what you need to know before they arrive, so you're not completely unprepared. First, your first instinct response isn't necessarily your real response. When someone says something significant, your brain goes into protection mode automatically. You might freeze, might become defensive, might deflect with humor, might say things you don't mean because your nervous system is activated and your mouth is running before your thinking brain catches up. Prepare yourself now to pause. When they say whatever they're about to say, pause before responding. Take breath. Let the information land. Let your actual response emerge instead of letting your panic response emerge dressed up as reply. If you need time to process, you can ask for it. I need a minute to process this is complete response while you're gathering yourself. You don't have to respond immediately just because they've asked question or made statement. You can sit in discomfort while you figure out what you actually feel instead of speaking from panic. Second, they're scared. Whatever bravery they're demonstrating right now, underneath that bravery is fear. Fear of rejection, fear of their feelings being dismissed, fear of you not feeling the same way, fear of something changing that they're not prepared for change to happen to. Fear is doing a lot of the heavy lifting in their courage right now. This doesn't change what they're about to say. Their fear doesn't make their words less true. But understanding that they're scared might make you gentler in your response, might make you more compassionate about their delivery, might make you recognize the cost of their directness and honor it even if you're not sure how you feel about what they're saying. Third, you have permission to not know how you feel immediately. They might be expecting answer, might think they've been clear and obvious enough that you'll know instantly whether you feel the same way, but you might not know. You might need time. You might have complex feelings that don't fit neatly into yes or no, and that's fine. I don't know how I feel yet is honest answer. I need to think about this is valid response. You don't have to perform certainty you don't feel just to make them comfortable. Let yourself be uncertain while you figure out what you actually want. Fourth, listen more than you talk. When they're saying what they came to say, listen, actually listen, not waiting for your turn, not formulating response while they're still talking. Hear them fully before you react. Because whatever they say, they've worked hard to say it, has cost them something to say it, has required vulnerability to say it. The least you can do is hear it completely, without already judging, without already arguing, without already decided you know what they're about to say before they actually say it. Fifth, recognize the transition. Whatever happens in this conversation, whatever is said, and whatever response you give, your relationship is entering new phase. The silence is breaking. The unknown is becoming known. The unspoken is becoming spoken. There's no returning to before conversation state. That's okay. Transition is part of relationship. Growth is part of relationship. Some conversations are difficult but necessary. This might be one of those conversations. This might be conversation that changes everything. Or it might be conversation that clarifies things and lets both of you move forward with fuller understanding. This reflection invites you to consider what would need to be true in this conversation for you to feel it went well. Let me give you specific guidance for what to do in the next few hours before they arrive. First, ground yourself. Whatever emotional state you're in, whatever anxiety or excitement or dread is moving through your nervous system, ground it. Take shower, move your body, eat something, do thing that brings you into your body instead of living entirely in your head spinning scenarios. Ground yourself in present reality instead of in imagined futures. Your body is here, your breath is here, your heartbeat is here. Everything else is story you're telling yourself. Second, clear your space and your time. If conversation is happening at your place, clear distractions. Make environments safe. Make space that supports real conversation, not space that's full of chaos and noise. If conversation is happening elsewhere, make sure you have time after if you need time after. Don't schedule this conversation right before you have to be somewhere else, right before you have to perform for others, right before you have to shift into different mode. Third, get clear on your boundaries. What are you willing to discuss? What's off limits? What outcomes are you open to, and what outcomes are non-negotiable? Know this before conversation starts so you can reference your own clarity if conversation starts pulling you in directions you don't want to go. Fourth, release attachment to specific outcome. You don't know what they're going to say. You don't know how you're going to feel about it. You don't know what direction this will take. Releasing attachment to specific outcome doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're open to reality instead of committed to fantasy about how you want it to go. Fifth, remember they're taking risk. Whatever they're about to tell you, they're risking something. They're exposing themselves. They're putting their heart on table. Even if what they say makes you uncomfortable, even if you don't reciprocate feelings, even if their confession creates problem instead of solving one, they're being brave. Acknowledge that bravery, even if you're saying no to what they're asking for. I appreciate your courage, even though I don't feel the same way, honors what they did while being honest about your response. This reflection invites you to consider how can you honor their vulnerability regardless of whether their words are things you want to hear. They're coming to talk. Readiness doesn't matter anymore. Time is up for waiting. Time is here for conversation. Ground yourself. Clear your space. Know your boundaries. Listen more than you speak. Honor their courage. Respond from your truth, not from your fear. Whatever they say, it matters that they said it. Whatever you feel, it matters that you feel it. Whatever happens next, it happens from this moment forward. Be present, be honest, be kind. They're almost there.